So then we could say that, Christians, the way that they say the law of the land first, it sounds like we're saying, well, it's wrong-headed because it's wrong in its face, because the first problem is that many Christians in our nation today don't even know what the law of the land is. So what we've basically ascertained thus far, in my assessment, is many Christians who are going around and incessantly quoting, well, the law of the land, the law of the land, they're not even submitting to the law of the land because they've forgotten or perhaps never learned that the law of the land is actually a higher authority than their governor or their president or anything like that, namely the Constitution. That said, what happens if America falls? I know you're post-millennial and so am I, but that doesn't mean America is going to last. But the kingdom is going to continue to advance, and but it may advance through other nations. And so if America falls and we find ourselves in this dire scenario where we don't have a constitution as beautiful as the one we have today, and those freedoms are not there with the highest civil magistrate, it no longer is the Constitution of the United States, but it is a human official. It is a monarch, and we are subjects, and he is a tyrant and abusing his power. Then at that level, right, because we've already, I think, thoroughly discussed the law of the land at one level, but what do you do if you're a Christian in China, for instance, and there's the one-child policy, that they held for a long time, and now all the nations are starting to wake up and realizing, we actually are going to have the opposite problem than we thought. We're not going to have enough people. And so, now there's incentives in different nations for people to have 2 or 3 kids. But let's say it's the good old days of China with the one-child policy, and there's forced abortions and all those kinds of things. And that is, in a very real sense, the law of the land, because there is not a higher civil magistrate, earthly authority to appeal to that has righteous laws. Then what?
Right. All right. So then you're back. Let's say there's a reestablishment of paganism. So we're back in the state of, right now we have a Christian heritage. We have Christian structure of our laws. There's a great deal of residual Christianity in our legal framework. Right. But let's say we apostatize fully, and we are back in paganism. A resurgent neo-paganism has taken over. Okay? Well, then we're in the same position that Paul and Peter were in. And this is where you go and say, okay, the Apostle Paul, who wrote Romans 13, was executed by Rome. Right. Okay. Peter, who wrote 1 Peter 2, honor the emperor. Peter was escaped from jail. He disappears from the book of Acts, a wanted man. Right? So Peter escaped from King Aretas. Paul escaped from King Aretas by running a roadblock. He was lowered from the city wall of Damascus, evading arrest. So basically what I would do in that situation, what I would encourage other Christians to do, is maneuver yourself to the point where your resistance is fundamentally revolving around the worship of God, and secondarily around issues involved with the 10 Commandments, forced abortion, God's moral law. God's moral law. So I wouldn't want, in that circumstance, the battle to be about some tertiary or further down the list constitutional right that you would have in a free republic. I would want to insist first and foremost on our right and obligation to worship God and to preserve and protect life. All right, so that's where I think that
not so much standing up for, you can maybe categorize it like this, not so much resisting to preserve your own personal comforts and liberties, but rather more so resisting the state to preserve your freedom to be obedient to Christ.
Right.
Thanks for watching this video. We hope you enjoyed it. If you did enjoy it, we hope that you'll take a moment and subscribe to our YouTube channel so that you can watch more content like this. Also, take a moment and give this video a like so that it can reach more people, and take a moment and click on the bell so that you'll be notified whenever we come out with new content. Thanks so much. God bless.